a minute and talk about a few things about talking about real estate and the different ways we can present ourselves and different things that we can do to change what we do. Just little tweaks. I think a lot of times, a lot of us, what we do is we get almost there. And it's just the little things that we need to do differently that will make a big difference in our business. So I wanted to take a few minutes to do that. I also want to take a few minutes to say, for those of you who are here with us, that I'm really excited about the idea of it and some of these things that I've talked about and I've studied and I've gone into this. I feel like our mindset changes and speak changes that I personally want to make. So maybe y'all can hold me accountable to it. I want to make sure I want our office to have a very positive mindset, a positive outlook. I feel like most of y'all know that I've gone through a lot of stuff in the last year. It's been a hectic year. And I'm tired of having that excuse. I'm tired of making excuses. So I want to choose that we be happy and that we have a positive mindset and that everything that we're doing radiates that we love this business and we love this company and I love the agents because all of that is true. So I am going to try to focus on that and do a better job about that. So if anybody wants to call me out, hopefully, y'all just do that. I won't be offended by it at all. So, about me, all of you, most of you know me. I've been in real estate since 2006. I've gone through the ups and the downs. I have said the things that I shouldn't say, and I have definitely messed up in front of clients, in front of prospective clients, in front of customers. So I understand, and I've definitely, and I think we've all done this. I've definitely have walked away from a situation or two and thought, I wish I would have said, or I wish I would have done. And then I am an overthinker enough that I will focus on that too long. And instead of focusing on that, I want to focus on the positive of, well, I should have said this, but the next time something comes up, I'll know and I'll say it correctly. So that is my mindset that I want to go into this training about. So here we go. So positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will. Everyone wants to talk about positive thinking, that's Zig Ziglar, and how it will change your attitude and how it will make it a better attitude and better thinking you can do so much more with than if you have a negative mindset or a negative attitude. And I believe this is 100% true, but I believe there's more that we have to do than just think positively. Even though I believe in the affirmations, I believe very much that if you think you're going to fail before you start, you will fail. If you think you're going to succeed before you start, then you will succeed. And so I definitely believe 100% in that positive thinking mindset. But I do think we have to do more than think positively. I think we need to do a lot more than just think how I'm going to be positive. And I think one of the things and one of the areas that we focus in last, that we need to focus in first, is our speech and how we talk and how we react and how we do around clients, but not just clients. I think some of us, and myself included, I get in the mindset if I'm in front of a client, I can turn it on. I can do exactly what I feel like needs to be done and have that client hear everything that I would like that client to hear. But where I think we fail and where I fail sometimes is just in my everyday speech and people that I'm around and people that I want to influence and people that I have an opportunity with. So we're going to talk about some of those today. So some of our positive speech. How is real estate? That's the question I get all the time. So everybody knows me, knows I'm a real estate agent. I walk in anywhere and I get, how is real estate? So how's real estate treating you? The answer, two answers you can give right now. You can say, oh, real estate is really slow. You know, the interest rates have gone up. Home sales are gone down. It's really, really just a tough market. Or your other answer is real estate is great. I love real estate. I love the fact that I am helping a client or someone reach their dream of home ownership. I love that I help to um, take my clients to the next level. And right now is something that always happens is first time home buyers are always, always, always in the market to buy. And right now, there's a lot of first time home buyers out there. There's a lot of people who are just getting started. And I love helping somebody who is starting out in their life and starting out with their dream and changing their dreams. I love being able to help those people. So real estate is great. I love real estate. The other question, how did your showing go today? Hey, I know you had a showing. How did it go? Oh, it went awful. Those clients are so picky. Like they just complain about everything. They're never going to find a house they don't like anything. Or you can say, it went great. They didn't love the house, but now I know more about what they're looking for. So you have two mindsets there about your clients. Also, another question is who is going to buy with these interest rates? So people are always talking there. That's the big talk right now. We want to talk about how high the interest rates are and how hard it is to buy in this market because the mortgage prices are gone up because of your payments are going up because interest rates are going up. So everybody wants to know what's going on with interest rates. And so we can say, well, the interest rates have gone up so bad. No one's going to buy with these terrible rates. So it's really, really hard right now. People can't afford it. People can no longer afford what they could afford last year because the interest rates have gone up so much. Or you can say rates will always go up and down. They will. They're going to go up and down. That's just the nature of the market that we live in. But rates will always go up and down. But I have never met anyone who said, I'm so glad I didn't buy that lakefront property in the 80s because rates were so high back in the 80s. I've never met one person who has come back to me and said, I'm so glad I didn't buy when interest rates were up. Because property valuation, if you had bought when the interest rates in the 80s were 18 or 20%, and you had bought that lakefront property on Smith Lake that you could have bought for $25,000, you're probably sitting on $1 million right now. So yes, the interest rates were high in the 80s, and yes, it was crazy. But everybody who comes back to me from a long time ago, and everybody knows it, I have heard so many stories about, I could have bought this then. Back then, I had somebody tell me yesterday, they called, they said, I could have bought that 4 acres for, I think they said $75,000. And now they have it listed for $500,000. And that wasn't even that long ago. So even though interest rates are high, real estate is a great, great investment. So you have two ways that you can answer those. So if you were a prospective buyer or seller, or if you were just somebody who was thinking about referring somebody to a client, which one of these clients do you want to work with? Do you want to work with the agent that says, "Oh, real estate is so slow. It's just so hard right now. It's just miserable. I can't even deal with it." And that somebody else who says these clients are just so picky, or nobody wants to buy. Interest rates are terrible. Is that who you want to work with? Or do you want to work with the client that's like, oh, real estate's great. I love real estate. Yeah, I know these clients have a particular need, but that's okay. We're going to find them I can find them the perfect house. Yeah, I know interest rates are high, but it's okay. Real estate's a great investment. Which client would you choose? Which person would you refer? What person would you want to be working with? So thinking about what you say and how you say it can make a huge, huge difference in the impact of your business. So we talked about thinking positively and speaking positively. What comes first? Do you think positive first or do you speak positive first? I really believe they rotate. The more positive you are, the more positive you're going to speak. But I really, really believe speaking is more of a decision that you make. It is a skill that is practiced and learned, and you have to practice it like a whole lot. Sometimes you have to make a conscious decision about what you're going to say, and you have to make a conscious decision about watching what you say. And what we do sometimes is we fall in the rut of conditioning. We fall in the rut of being around people who talk and who hear the same thing, and we hear the same thing, we do the same task in the same manner, day in and day out. And then we wake up feeling grumpy and we wake up complaining. So our conditioning can really, really set our course on how it is. So we have to condition ourselves to speak correctly. So an example I can give you on conditioning is on Cape Canaveral, the space shuttle that sits on Cape Canaveral could arguably be one of the world's best, most designed transportation system in the world. But if you look at it, it's powered by two rocket boosters. And those two rocket boosters sit 4 feet and 8.5 inches apart. So why? Why did they sit 4 feet, 8.5 inches apart? Well, the truth of the matter is the engineers really wanted them to be farther apart, but the rocket boosters had to get to Cape Canaveral via train. And train rails are set 4 feet, 8.5 inches apart, which is a weird number. Why did we design 4 feet, 8.5 inches? Why not 5? Why not 4.5? Why 4 feet, 8.5 inches every time on the train rails? Well, the rails were actually built in America by people who lived in Europe, who came over, who had worked on the train rails in Europe. So that's how our train rails got started. And the train rails in Europe were built 4 feet, 8.5 inches apart. So the people in Europe who came to America did it the same way. But why did they build train rails 4 feet, 8.5 inches apart in Europe? Well, they built them by the same design that was used for the roads. And the roads, at that point in time, and there's still roads in Europe that were built by the Roman Empire. And those roads have ruts in them. And out those ruts were 4 feet, 8.5 inches apart. And you can still walk on them today. But why were they built 4 feet, 8.5 inches apart? Well, they were built 4 feet, 8.5 inches apart because that's the exact size that was needed to fit two horses' rear ends in the chariots for the Roman Empire. So the Roman Empire actually determined the horses' rear ends for the Roman Empire is one of the determining factors on how far the rocket boosters on the space shuttle at Cape Canaveral are apart. So when you hear the saying, whose horse's rear end determined this, you can know. But that's a factor of conditioning. It was always done the same way. It was done the same way since the Roman Empire, and it's still being done the same way today. And the only way to change that conditioning is to make a conscious decision. I am going to do this different. I am going to wake up and I'm going to turn things to a positive angle, even things that are not necessarily positive. I'm going to speak positively about these things. So that is the way in which you have to think about your conditioning. So you have to change your conditioning to be able to change the way you speak. An example of that is complaining is an activity. Just like listening to music is an activity. One may choose to listen to music, one may choose not to listen to music. One may choose to complain, and one may choose not to complain. I'm going to tell you, choose not to complain. If we're hiring and if you were hiring somebody and you had two people to choose from, they had an equal education and background, equal skills, dress, everything, but one was complaining and the other one was happy, which one would you choose? Remember, this not only applies to your clients, but it also applies to your sphere. Your sphere is going to be more likely to choose the person who is positive, the person who doesn't complain. So while we get in the mindset sometimes, and it's so easy because things are hard and real estate is hard and it is a hard job and it's not easy. We want the outside world to see us in a positive manner so that they want to think about us and they want to refer to us um, as someone that they can come to. One of the examples that I want to use in this office, something that I've said and I really, really need to work on doing is complain up. So if you have a complaint about a client that you need to talk to, because sometimes we just got to talk it out, call us, talk to us. Don't talk to your friends, don't talk to your family, don't talk to other clients. Call and talk to us. We understand, we've been there, we know what you're going through, And therefore, we know how hard it is. And then you save the complaining for us and you go out to the world and act like and show that everything's great. Show that you love your business, show that you love your job, show that you really enjoy what you're doing. A small thing that you can do that will make a big, big impact is to smile while you talk. Smiling to people, when you smile at people, if you can smile and nod and grin and nod, they will smile and nod back. So if you want somebody to, if they're trying to decide to make an offer on a contract, if they're trying to decide whether or not to use you as an agent, if you're just talking to somebody in general and you want them to go along with what you're saying, smile and nod. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Smile and nod. Eventually, they're slowly starting to adapt, they're slowly starting to agree with you, and they're becoming when you smile at somebody, it creates the, aurora that you're a friend with them, and you want to do things with your friends, and you want to grow with your friends, and you want your friends to succeed. So when you create that bond just by that simple, simple smile and nodding, and also it's harder to complain when you're doing that. So you're coming across as a positive person, you're coming across as somebody with a good mindset, and you're coming across as somebody that people want to be around and people want to work with when you smile. So remember when you're trying to talk and you can't just and you're just stuck, just smile. It's going to feel awkward, it's going to feel strange. It's something that's great to do to help boost your mindset and boost the positivity in your life. It's just as simple as smiling. So some other things that we want to do that is really hard to do, we want to put ourselves out there. So say hello to a friendly to a stranger. Say hello with a friendly face to a stranger and speak to people. Speak to people you don't know, speak to people in the elevator, speak to people in the line, speak to people as you walk by, smile and be friendly. People want to be around people who smile and be friendly. Give people an unexpected compliment. Everybody loves to receive a compliment. So if you get on an elevator with somebody and they have a pretty dress, tell them they have a pretty dress. If you like their hair, tell them that you like their hair. Because the more you practice speaking positively, the better you're going to become at it. And the happier that when you give that compliment to somebody and they in return are happy about it, it will release happiness inside of you. So you want to be happy and to and around other people. And you also don't be afraid to ask for business. That's what we're in real estate for. We want to ask for business. We want our business to grow. So a few examples of things and places in which I have asked for business. I have been in a restaurant multiple times and heard somebody say, I'd like to buy a house. I'd like to sell a house. I'm thinking about selling my house. I'm thinking about moving. I'm thinking about relocating. My kid wants to move. I want my kid close to me. Anything like that, if I hear it, I literally will get up and walk over and say, "Hey, I am so, so sorry for and I'm really not eavesdropping on you, but, you know, when I hear something about real I'm a real estate agent and I can't help it. When I hear something about real estate, it's almost like putting blood in the water of a shark. My ears perk up and I have to, just say hello and introduce myself, and I give them my card, and if there's anything that I can do to help you, I would love to help you. Just feel free to reach out to me. I don't linger, I don't stay, I don't drive them crazy, I don't ask them for their telephone number, I don't ask them to give me their address. I just simply introduce myself to them. 9 times out of 10, I get a thank you very much, but I already have this, or thank you very much, but I'm gonna do this. But it's okay. And I have no less business from them telling me no than I would have if I'd have just sat at my table and minded my own business. But also, I have picked up clients that way. I have sold houses from running into people, complete strangers that I've never met before, and went and introduced myself to them. But think about this. If you were wanting to sell your house, don't you want a shark? Don't you want somebody who will stick their neck out there? Don't you want somebody who's brave enough to think outside of the box and be creative and reach out there? Wouldn't you want an agent who acts like that? Not a rude agent, not a puffed up agent, but just an agent who is thinking, who is brave enough to go over and speak to you, because you want an agent who will do everything that they can to market your property for sale. So if you're brave enough to come over and tell me that you'll help me sell my house or you'll help me buy a house, are you not also brave enough if you hear somebody else who would like to buy my house to tell them about my house? You're brave enough not to just be an agent who sticks my house on the MLS, but you're brave enough to step out there. I will tell you, we always have that fear of rejection. We always have that fear of, I wish I would have said this, or I wish I would have done this. But that's okay. The fear is okay. Everybody has fear. The difference between a successful person and a non-successful person is not that the successful person isn't afraid, it's that the successful person has the courage to do it anyway. Everybody has a fear, everybody has a fear of something, but the successful person will do it anyway, even though that they have a fear. So don't think that just because you see somebody walk up to somebody and speak to somebody in a restaurant or in a grocery store or wherever they happen to be, that that person's not afraid to do it. They probably are afraid to do it, but they're also, they know that they have to get out of their comfort zone to be able to grow their business. And so therefore, they have the courage to go over that fear. Work on that courage. Work on asking for the business. Work on setting yourself out there. You know, what if they sell you mind your own business? Go away, leave me alone, mind your own business. I can't believe you listened to my conversation. Okay, I'm sorry I disturbed you. Have a great rest of your day and go on. Leave them alone. You'll get over it. It won't be the first time. But I will tell you, I cannot even tell you how many people I've walked up into a restaurant and given my card. I That doesn't usually happen. I would say I don't know any time that anybody's been rude to me about it. So sticking yourself out there. Now, don't do it grouchy. Do it with a friendly face. Be pleasant. Um, about it. Another thing you wanna think about is, how do you treat people when they enter the room? Are you like, somebody else? Or do you smile and say hello? Do you welcome people in the room? How do you enter the room? Even more importantly, do you walk in the room with enthusiasm? Do you walk in the room with, "Oh, yay," and with a smile on your face and greeting everybody in the room? Even if your greeting is just with a smile and, uh eye contact, just looking at the people in the room, just noticing the people in the room. That makes a difference. When you look at somebody and smile at them, they feel noticed. They feel appreciated. They feel, and just a simple hello, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. Anything that you can do. So when you enter the room, if you enter the room with a positive mindset instead of a negative mindset, it's going to make a difference on how people view you. And all of this is about how you can be viewed in a professional light. And you're always, always wanting to be that way. Now let's do that slide twice. So some things that you can avoid in real estate and just in general to help your business. Complaining about a client to almost anyone is bad. We don't want to complain about our clients, because when you complain about a client, people are going to think, oh my God, they probably complain about me. Did anybody have a friend or know somebody that every time you talk to them, they spread gossip and they tell you all of somebody else's secrets? They know everything about everybody, and everything they know, they tell. You don't tell your secrets to that person, because you know that when they get away from you, they're gonna spread those secrets to somebody else. So you guard yourself around somebody like that. Well, it's the same way as far as you. If you're always complaining about your clients, you're always complaining about the condition of the property, you're always complaining about something like that, then people start to think, well, if I work with her, she's gonna complain about me. Or if I work with him, he's going to tell people how bad my house is. Or I don't want to refer my friends to them because they might tell other people things about my friends. So you never want to talk negatively about your clients in front of other people. You want to make sure that other people see you as someone who cares about your clients, someone who loves your job. You also never want to talk about how much money you make. And you definitely don't want to say, I made all this money and I did hardly any work. Don't say that in front of people out in the business. First of all, people want to work with successful people, not rich people. There is a difference. If you act like you make lots of money and you're so wealthy, then they're going to be like, you don't need a referral. You don't need any more business because you're killing it. But if you act like you're successful and you're professional, then they're going to think, I want to send my clients to you because my friends and my family and my sphere of influence are going to be treated professionally and they're going to be treated correctly if I send my people to this person because they're not talking about money, they're talking about success. They're talking about things that they have done to help other people reach their goals. They have helped the client who had a specific set of needs find the house that they're looking for. They have helped people grow in the business and they are successful and they're professional in their business. So being successful is not being talking about being successful is not the same as talking about being making a ton of money. Nobody wants to hear how much money you make, except for maybe your spouse. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't talk. And apparently I can't type because there's an E. So don't be a talkie. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't talk. Don't act like you know something you don't know. Sometimes when there's a conversation going on and you don't know what they're talking about, it's best just to smile, nod, shut up, and listen. Maybe you'll learn something from the conversation, or maybe you'll just learn something you need to learn. So if they're talking about the recession and you don't know if we've been in a recession or not been in a recession, you might not need to have an opinion on that, but maybe when you leave, you need to go research it. If they're talking about the growth in a particular area and you didn't know that area was growing, then don't talk about that area growing. Go learn. Go learn it later so you can talk about it and you'll know more next time. Never say it's a bad market. We don't have bad markets. We have buyers markets and we have sellers markets. We don't have bad markets. So if the housing a couple years ago when everybody was like, the market's great, the market's great. And all the houses were flying off the shelf before you could put them on there. That was a seller's market. The sellers got whatever they were asking for. The sellers got the price that they were asking for. The sellers were able to not do any concessions. That was a seller's market. Back when the market was so bad, as people say, and houses were selling slowly and house prices were dropping, that was a buyer's market. You buy low, sell high. That's how finances work. So we don't have bad markets. We have buyer's markets and we have sellers markets. So if somebody asks you, is the market bad? The answer is no, it's not bad. It's shifting to a buyer's market. It's been a seller's market and it's becoming a buyer's market. It's not a bad market. It's just a shifting market. So you want to make sure you never, ever, ever use the term bad market. Bad market is a way to say that you don't understand financing. And it's also a way to tell somebody now's not a good time to buy or sell because in somebody else's mind, it's a if you say it's a bad market, then they don't want to enter it. Who wants to enter a bad market? So you want your clients to enter market. So you want to tell them, no, it's a great market. It's a shifting market. It's a buyer seller's market. When's the best time to buy or sell a house? When you need to buy or sell a house. Especially if you're not an investor, if you're buying a house to live in it, is it going to be worth? First of all, the rates are not going down, but not drastically. They'll never be 2 or 3% again. I don't think. I don't have a crystal ball, but my guess is. But is it worth you waiting on the rates to drop 0.5% to get your kid in the school system they want to be in, or to have the backyard you always wanted, or to have you wait so long, the whatever you were moving for might not even be what you're moving for anymore. So it's always a great market. It's always a great time to buy or sell because there's always going to be people, because it's the American dream and people want to buy and sell houses. So we want to help them do it. And one way not to do it is by saying, oh, it's a bad market, because that tells people not to move. That tells people not to sell. That tells people not to buy. So we never, ever want to say that. And another thing we never want to do is we never want to talk bad about the other agent, even though some of them are not good. We know that some of them don't do their job, some of them disappear, some of them don't know what they're doing, some of them are learning. We don't talk bad about the other agent. That's unprofessional. It is unprofessional to talk bad about somebody else. So, especially somebody in the business. So, as mad as that other agent makes you, resist the temptation, because I promise you, in your client's eyes, in your friend's eyes, in your sphere of influence eyes, it makes you look bad to talk about the other agent. Instead of talking negatively about another agent, you should talk positively about what you do. This agent is not, this agent won't even have an open house. You're like, okay, well, I don't know about what she does, but I like to have an open house the first weekend my house goes on the market. Everybody has a different marketing plan. That's just my marketing plan. I don't know what hers is. I'm sure she sells houses. I'm sure she has a plan. It's that simple. Don't talk bad about them. Just defer back to what you do, and not in a negative light in their manner. I'm sure that they are doing everything that they can to sell your house. We just all sell houses differently. This is what I do, but I don't know what she does. She may be marketing it all over the world. We just don't know about it. Don't talk bad about attorneys. Don't talk bad about lenders. You were their agents. You've in their mind, you're all related. You're all one deal. Your sphere of influence sees the process as one. So you want to be careful talking negatively about other professionals, because believe it or not, even it doesn't build you up. It makes you look unprofessional in their sight. So you want to make sure that you are talking positively the most you can. If you have a problem with a lender, you want to deal with that problem with the lender, but not by speaking negatively about the person, and especially about somebody's direct character or somebody's direct you if there's a deal going on. If first of all, if there's a deal going on and there's a problem lending, something like that, you don't need to be talking about it to outside people anyway. You need to be very careful in that, because you have a confidentiality in your fiduciary duty to your client, not to keep their information confidential. So you got to be careful about what you're talking about anyway. And then you need to make sure, if the deal is going bad, it looks negative on you. No matter whose fault it is, it still looks negative on you. So you don't want to spin that in a negative light. So what should we say? So clients who seem difficult can make this job very hard. But remember, it's a very big deal to them. They do not buy and sell houses every day. They don't understand the process. You showing them patience and compassion will help you attract new business. So instead of saying they are so picky, they're never going to find a house, that I don't know what I'm going to do with these people, I am never going to make them happy. Try saying, oh yeah, these clients have a very specific want and need, and I can't wait till I find them the perfect home. I know we're going to find them the perfect home. It may take 100 of them, but I know we can do it. And I know that I'm the agent for it, because I understand that buying a house is a big deal, and it's okay to have specific wants and needs. And we're just going to try to help them find that specific want and need. And we're going to keep after it till we do. Talk positively about that picky client. And the way you do that is you spin that I am patient. They have specific wants and needs, and it's not a lot of houses available with that specific want and needs, but that's okay, because I'm in it for the long haul, because I am going to work very hard for them. Also mention that you are honored. If somebody mentions you in real estate at all, you tell them, I'm so thankful. I'm so honored that your mom thought about me. I'm so honored that your friend thought about me. I'm so honored that you mentioned me in this. I'm so honored that I came up. If real estate is brought up and you are mentioned at all, you need to let them know that you are honored by that, because saying that you're honored by that, it humbles you and it makes you seem more real and to other people. And it also makes you seem like you appreciate things, and people want to be around people who appreciate things. People who appreciate things, people who smile, are people that generally happy, and we like to be around happy people. Happy people make us happier. So make sure you're thinking about that. Other things you might want to say is today while I was at the office, or today while I was in training, or today while I was reading this about real estate, or today while I was working in general. And then talk about something positive about real estate. Today, when I was in the office, an agent came in and she was talking about this closing that she just had and how these people have been looking for a house for 2 years. I'm so excited that they found a house. I love to hear deals like that. You're talking positive, you're talking about being at work so that they know that you're working, they know that you're a working person, they know that you focus on your job. By the way, your friends and family talk about their job all the time. Why should you not talk about your job? You just need to make sure when you're talking about your job, you're talking about your job in a manner that makes people think you want to do your job. While a lot of people, and that's part of our conditioning, we're used to listening to people who have 9 to 5 jobs, who hate their job, who talk about how much they hate their job. So we fall in the condition and in the rut of saying all the bad things we did. Oh my God, today at the office. And then we tell all the bad things that are happening. And they're all true. We all know real estate is hard. This is a hard job. This is a hard thing to do. But we don't want to fall in that rut. We don't want to be conditioned, even though the people that we're around and the conditioning that we're used to is hearing people talk negatively about work. We want to make sure we're talking positively about work. We're talking about the good things that happened. Because if we talk about the good things that happened while we were working, first of all, people know we're working because half the world thinks real estate agents don't do any work. And secondly, it makes people want to be around us and people want to refer people to us. Another thing is you always want to be presentable. I know that's not what you say, but make sure that you, and that falls into the next category. Always think of everyone as a potential client. Everybody you talk to either has a house to buy, a house to sell. They know somebody who has a house to buy or sell. Everybody in the that we are around has some connection and some, in the 7 degrees of separation, that something and somebody is gonna come in contact with somebody who might want to buy or sell a house. So in everything you do, which makes our life kinda difficult, but we wanna treat everybody in every situation like we're working with a potential client. You may need a handful of 2, 3 people that you can really, really talk to about how hard everything else is. And I recommend that be us. And everybody else you talk to, you want to go in front of them like you are always a professional. You are always ready to do your job. And that they could potentially be a client or a lead or bring you a lead. So you want to treat everybody in that manner. And if you treat everybody in that manner, it could help you increase your business. Um, so lastly, and I've been on here, the next week we will talk about the market and being able to talk about real estate in general. So we want to talk about inflation, interest rates, how does prime affect the interest rates, recession, settlement, just general basic knowledge. We're going to be a little go into that and talk about things that we can learn so that we can have educated communication, because the more educated communication we have, the more people are going to look at us as professionals. So everybody go talk to somebody, be happy today, be enthusiastic today, smile, nod, meet a stranger, talk about real estate. Let's go do this and we can crush it. Good to see everybody. I'll see everybody next week.